What do you think is the biggest event that will happen in the next 50 years? I feel like one of the major countries in the world will have a major collapse. Russia. Us. China. Something. Inexpensive. Low-energy desalinization of ocean water. Everybody in the world will have as much inexpensive salt as they need. It will probably be something we've never imagined happening. We are still insanely unprepared for an electromagnetic pulse EMP for a society that is almost entirely driven by electronics. Would cause trillions in damage. Last episode of The Simpsons. Controllable nuclear fusion. Human landing on the moon again. Wars breaking out in the West Pacific. Water wars. Costco still sells $1.50 hot dogs. Joe Biden, Donald Trump are going to quit politics and open a lovely bed breakfast in Oregon. Holographic Ana de Armas AI girlfriends. Grand Theft Auto 6 will finally be released. The commercialization of quantum computing. Some idiot will use a nuke somewhere and the world will become extra fucked. The death of Keith Richards. Nah, just kidding. Keith will be around at least another 50 years. P. Diddy goes to jail for being the sole conspirator behind both Biggie and Tupac's murders. We will discover a groundbreaking technology that will greatly further the lives of mankind, while simultaneously using it in the most destructive way possible. It seems to me that artificial intelligence will become self-aware. Cascadia earthquake above 9.0 will devastate the west coast of Canada and United States, causing a tsunami large enough to cross the entire Pacific Ocean and damage even Japan. It has before and will happen again. A dirty bomb will go off in a NATO state. iPhone 65 will be incrementally better than iPhone 64 but not really worth the price. Life, or at least fossilized life, will be definitively discovered within our solar system. Astronomers will likely also find very suggestive signs of life far beyond our small corner of space. Perhaps the former will help inform the discovery of the latter. We'll see at least one living human leave us forever with effectively no understanding of where they are going. I think we've got a pretty major economic reckoning coming. If we're smart, it will happen in the next 10-15 years and we will have some level of societal change after a few small events. If we let the oligarchy and demographic collapse continue to get much worse, I think it will be less societal change and more violent societal collapse. Climate refugees that destabilize entire regions, wars over water access. The cost of energy will be close enough to be considered free and practically infinite, due to renewables or fusion or space solar or something we don't know yet. As a result, we move into a post-scarcity world. The singularity. First people on Mars. A cure for cancer and many other diseases. Aliens will land, get out of their spaceship, take one look around and go home in disappointment. Pandemic, but a bigger one, say mutated Ebola, lose a third of world population. No idea, but I think it's gonna hurt. Aliens are revealed to be our ancestors as we are descendants of them and Earthlings. They are beings who have mastered time and other dimensions. Disclosure of NHI. Antarctica's ice sheet will melt into the ocean, effectively eliminating any possibility to hold back the drastic effects of climate change. World War III. Massive volcano eruption. Arctic ice sheet collapse. Sometimes I think about the massive famines that swept Europe in the early part of the 14th century. That could have been the defining crisis of the century. if the Black Death hadn't shown up several years later to eclipse it. Plot twist: not World War III, but Solar War I. A war of Earth versus the remarkably advanced underground civilization on Mars. You'd think this would at least finally bring Earth together as one collective human race. But no. Half of Earth's population is extremely susceptible to Mars anti-Earth propaganda and actually on the side of Mars. Fascism Part Der. Famine on a scale we can't grasp right now. The fall of Russia. The biggest one, in my opinion, is the fact that many of these companies, who are in charge of creating technology and software that has the potential to transform the world, looking directly at Zuck, aren't interested in either taking the necessary precautions to properly implement the technology, or in accepting accountability when things go wrong with it. We are really screwed if the corporation that creates artificial general intelligence has this profit above all else, move fast and break things mentality. This is one way that humanity could end up extinct long before the effects of climate change do. Within 10 years, we will crack nuclear fusion. 20 years, we'll launch a probe to another star system. 30 years, we'll find a world within 100 light-years suitable for human life. 50 years, catastrophic effects of climate change will have displaced billions of people, directly resulting in hundreds of millions of deaths. Water wars, land wars, mass migration, the works. World War III, as much as we dread it. Smell-o-vision. Mic drop. This is the scariest Reddit post of the day. Oh my gosh, I'm probably going to have nightmares about it. Japanese sex robots. Plot twist: another pandemic-level virus in 2030. Cashless society. Death will become a choice. Cats start talking and will take over civilization. My children will have to bury their father, me, most likely. US and China going to war over Taiwan. Zephram Cochrane will invent warp drive 2063. The biggest one sure to come is the sun sending out a super EMP shutting down every electrical device on Earth. 9/11/2. Antibiotic resistance. Yellowstone will erupt, triggering the Cascadia subduction zone, causing massive wipeout of humanity. The world will never recover from this. The Third World War. Me passing away. Firefly Season 2, still waiting. President Camacho will reign supreme after sending each political rival to rehabilitation. More likely it's something to do with nuclear war. TBH. I believe Putin and Kim especially would rather end the world than be removed from power or concede defeat. They'll bomb someone in NATO and that'll be it. Wilco's will reopen. Confirmation of life on another planet. The water wars will begin. Protracted engagements to bring freedom to the poor fuckers with potable water to prop up the immensely wasteful nations that have run out US, Australia, South Africa, Central America, Central Asia, etc. People will eat dirt, vermin and each other during a famine, but there ain't no backup plan for no water. Hopefully by that time a truly feral pandemic will reduce pop numbers. China will collapse. Their population is aging and their economy can't sustain itself due to China's policies in general. A lot of the world doesn't care for China's stance on Taiwan either. Their poor quality goods aren't helping either. They'll fall apart. With the way that Russia is crumbling due to worldwide pressure, they may very well break into smaller states at some point. A terrorist group getting their hands on nuclear weapons to nuke the USA.